Hey Reddit. I never thought I'd be the one posting here, but I don't know where else to turn. I'm writing this with a shaking hand and a heart that's pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. I, 38F, have been with my boyfriend, 37M, for almost 2 years now. We've had our ups and downs like any couple, but I always thought we were solid. I believed we had mutual respect and trust. But now I don't know what to think. It all started a few nights ago. I was using his laptop to look up a recipe while he was in the shower. He had no problem with me using it. We have that kind of relationship. At least, I thought we did. But when I minimized the browser, I saw a folder on his desktop that caught my eye. It was labeled with a date I recognized. Curiosity got the best of me. I clicked it, and my world came crashing down. Inside that folder was a video of us, intimate. And I had no memory of it ever being recorded. The moment I pressed play, I felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. It was from a night a few months ago. I remember that night clearly, or at least I thought I did. We had gone out to a bar with friends, had a few drinks, and I got pretty tipsy. Not blackout drunk, but definitely not in the best state of mind. I remember coming home, lying down on the bed, and feeling my eyes get heavy. And then, nothing. But in the video, I saw him. I saw myself lying there, barely moving. And then I saw him, touching me, positioning me, doing things to me while I lay still, eyes closed. My entire body went cold. This isn't the first time something like this has happened to me. When I was in my early 20s, I had an ex who recorded us without my permission. I didn't find out until months later, when he used the videos to blackmail me. He threatened to release them if I ever left him. It was a nightmare that took years of therapy to work through. And now here I was again. Except this time, I knew my boyfriend wasn't trying to blackmail me. He wasn't that kind of person, or at least, I hoped he wasn't. But the fact remained, he did this without my consent. He recorded me in an intimate moment without even asking. Would I have said yes if he had asked? Probably. I'm not against recording things like that as long as there's mutual agreement, but he didn't ask. And that's what's killing me inside. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't just pretend I hadn't seen it. But I also didn't know how to confront him. So I turned to my best friend, Laura. Laura and I have been through everything together. She's my rock, my voice of reason. When I told her what I had found, she didn't sugarcoat anything. "Babe, that's not okay," she said, her voice laced with anger. "That's a massive violation of trust." I tried to play devil's advocate. But what if he just thought I'd be okay with it? I mean, I would have said yes if he asked. Laura shook her head. But he didn't ask. That's the point. I felt tears sting my eyes. "What if I'm overreacting?" Laura grabbed my hands. "You're not. What he did is serious. You need to talk to him." That night, my boyfriend came home from work like nothing was wrong. I sat him down, my heart racing, and told him I needed to talk. I told him what I found. His face went pale. "You went through my computer," I snapped. "That's what you're worried about, not the fact that you recorded me without my consent?" He fumbled for words. I didn't think it was a big deal. We've done it before, and you never had a problem with it." I clenched my fists. But I was awake then. I knew about it then. This time, I didn't. His expression darkened. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I thought you'd be okay with it." I shook my head. "That's the problem. You thought. You didn't ask." Silence stretched between us. I could see the guilt in his eyes, but I didn't know if it was enough. I didn't make any decisions that night. Instead, I reached out to my old therapist. I needed clarity. I needed to understand why this felt so much bigger than my boyfriend seemed to think it was. Therapy helped me unpack everything. The past trauma, the current betrayal, the confusion about whether I was overreacting. My therapist validated my feelings. This was a violation. It didn't matter that I would have said yes. Consent needs to be given in the moment, but she also helped me see that I had options. I could try to work through this with him, or I could walk away. In the end, I gave myself time to think, and after a few weeks, I made my decision. I ended things. Not out of hatred, not out of anger, but because I realized something important. Trust is everything. And once it's broken like this, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. He begged me to reconsider. He swore he'd never do anything like that again. But I couldn't unsee what I saw. I couldn't undo the way it made me feel. I chose myself. I chose my peace. And for the first time in a long time, I felt free.